Declutter Save the Victor. Well, how's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. Yes, you're older than average YouTuber here on the YouTuber Has No Makeup On. Today we are doing a palette collection and maybe even a declutter. We'll see. I'm very bad at decluttering. It's definitely not my thing. I like to keep things, but there's some stuff that's really old, very, very old. There's some stuff that I've not played with in a while. So if you want to see what kind of crazy is in my collection and if I got rid of any, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. Honest to God, no one person should have this much eyeshadow. This is absolutely redonkulous. I haven't counted yet because I'm kind of scared to. But we are going to go through my eyeshadow collection here, and you can see in some of the piles, hello Juvia's place, I see you, that I like some brands a lot. Hello Odin's Eye. Oh look, there's P.Louise in her crazy packaging. We complain about it, but do we always want it? Yes, yes we do. So we are now going to go through these. I'm going to try and do a bit of a declutter. I know, shocking, right? But some are really old, some I don't use at all. Things that will pull on my heartstrings or gifts that were given, I will keep. Yeah. All right, so continue to enjoy the crazy. Okay, so what you can see from that little snippet video that I took, we've got way too much eyeshadow, and I've got some more coming. I'm terrible, but what can I do? I love makeup, but I think it's time to go through these things. There are definitely things I'm going to need to be decluttering. I'm going to start with the two baskets of smaller palettes, ones that I have one or two of, and we're going to do those first. I think this is where the majority of my declutter is going to come from. A lot of the bigger palettes are gifts, collectibles, things that I just love. There may be a few in there because like I said, there are some, even though no matter how much I love the brand, they've gotten really, really old, and I think that to make space, because I have 4 drawers and a small display stuff. Yes, P.Louise, that's where you live. And it was full. They were having to put on top of palettes, and I thought, okay, that is crazy. I know people love to see what kind of palettes people have and what they may be decluttering and why they're keeping it. Or just like me, I'm a nosy Parker to see if there's palettes that I want. Here we go. So we're going to start with some smaller palettes. So I'm going to start with, let's start with Pat McGrath. I have, they happen to be mostly smaller palettes that I have from her. I only have 4 of them. I've got, excluding this one, I think I got all these other ones on super deep discount, and that's the reason why I have them. Generally, I just really love her lipsticks. I don't think I'm much of an eyeshadow fan of hers. But that said, I've never tried any of the bigger palettes, which I hear is where the better quality is in the bigger, more expensive palettes. So fair enough. But let's start with the one that I've probably paid the most for. I think I maybe got 10% off. This, I was really liking some of the specialty quads that she put out, and then I thought, you know, it might have some of her specialty shades, but apparently they don't, and it is this palette here. It's basically neutral with some lavender. It's cute, it's all right. I should have waited to hear more reviews because I think this one wasn't a very popular one, but I don't mind it. It's definitely very neutral. This one I'm going to put in the maybe pile because I'm not 100% sure. Ones that I'm mostly keeping, I probably just go through it really quickly because other than that, this video is gonna be 12,000 hours long, and I see so many of these being 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts. Gonna try not and do that. But anything that I'm having a little bit of a struggle with or a reason why I'm getting rid of it, those ones I'll go into more detail. So this one right now is gonna be going into the I think about it pile because I did spend a lot of money on it, and I might want to keep at least one thing Pat McGrath, so I'm thinking this one may be the one. So now the first two things I ever got, and I got these on super discount at Sephora, were these. And I really did enjoy them at the time. They were kind of my first foray into more shimmery and colorful shades. She did one that was more of a neutral, and then we've got one here that is more colorful. And these aren't bad, they're nice, but I think they're also very old. Yeah, see, they're very old. These types of shimmery shades and fancy shades have come a long way. So, and even though I don't have a lot of neutral of these type of shades, these two are definitely going to go in the declutter pile. I think they're too old, really to give away to friends or something. So these will probably just go, unfortunately, into garbage and recycling. I'm going to see if I can take the pans out and if I can recycle this. And this was originally good for 12 months, and this is probably 5 or 6 years old, so I think these definitely need to go. And then last up, this was kind of my foray into more of a normal sized palette, and I did want to try it, and it's fine. I've used it once or twice. As you can tell, I have not used it a lot. These still swatch really nice. I might see if a friend of mine wants these. Like I said, they're really cute. These ones seem to swatch way better than the other two palettes did. So I'm going to try and find a home for this one, because even though I got it on sale, it's still, I think it was still a good price, that I'm trying not to throw it out. So anyways, that is my whole McGrath collection of eyeshadows. I've got a few of the lipsticks. One I've even repurchased one because I'm down to a nub of the other one. It's like a extra one in my purse in case of emergency. So her lipsticks are where it's at for me. The eyeshadows, not so much. So 3 are going away. 1 I'm possibly going to keep. Let's just quickly do this one. This one I've been hanging on for a long time. It is also very old, and it is the last of the Urban Decay palettes that I still own in my collection. This is the one from the Basquiat collection. This one was done with a little hanger, so you can hang it up like art. So I think I am finally going to give this one up. So I think what I might do is I might see if I can just poke out the shadows and see if I can maybe just hang this up as a piece of art. Basquiat art. If not, I may finally give up the whole thing. We will see, but this is definitely really old. The Urban Decay shadows, like, oh yeah, this is feels so hard right now. It still swatches okay, but this was definitely not a favorite. See, this pink is very light. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can depot these just to keep the art and just not have dying eyeshadows in my drawers. So I've got only 2 eyeshadows from Charlotte Tilbury. She makes my favorite setting spray, which is too expensive for me to buy all the time, but I do love it. I love her bronzer. One of her foundations is a favorite. I really do like more complexion stuff from Charlotte Tilbury. The eyeshadows are okay. This one I got in my last, it's that box that Beautylish, so that's Beautylish's mystery box every year. So this one is the last one that I had gotten, so I think it's only like a year or so old. I'm gonna keep this one for now. It's beautiful. Again, I don't really buy Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows because generally the pinks have carmine in it, but like I said, this was in a mystery box. I had no choice as to what came in it, and I had kind of always wanted to try these, which had the eye look, so I'm going to keep this one. But the first palette that I ever got, and this one had no carmine or anything in it, and this is the original Rebel Army Quad. She re-released it because, I don't know, some people had complaints about something in the palette, and I always thought it was just fine, but it is really old now, and then you can see I'm having a little bit of problems swatching it. So yeah, so I think this one will have to go, but sorry, I did like it. Like I said, it's not swatching as good as it used to, so I will keep the bigger one, which also has, which you may have seen, and this was the one out of all her kind of limited edition ones I kind of liked, because it did have the kind of green taupey shades in there. So I have one and one only Huda Beauty palette, and I hate it. I got this in a mystery bag. I liked everything else in the mystery bag, but this palette was absolutely terrible. Hated it. Hated it, hated it. I do like this one green, but I think that's about it. When I got the mystery bag, I was like, I hope I get the green palette, and this was supposedly the green palette, and really it's one green, some purples, a kind of neutrally, I guess you could call this a yellowy, greeny yellow, but yeah, no, this is terrible. This is just gonna go. That's gotta go. I've always kind of liked some of the original Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, but they almost always have carmine in them, so it's not cruelty-free, but Norvina was cruelty-free. So I thought I had 3 of these, 3 out of the 4, but I only have 2 out of the 4. So I have, this was the original one I got, and this one I really liked at the time, and then this one here is one that has more greens in it. It's a cute palette. Let's see, does it still swatch? It still swatches really good. So I think I think I may keep this one. So I'm going to put this into the maybe pile, and then maybe at the end of the video I can go through. And then this one I really got only because of the case. I know, stupid, but I got it on sale. I got it on the case, and the color story is very cute. It is this, I like reds and pinks. But I do have kind of these color stories over and over again. The shimmer isn't that great in here. And these are also really old now. They must be 3 years minimum old at this point. So I think, yeah, even though that red is really nice, maybe I'll depot the red. We'll see. But I think this one's definitely going to go in the it's out of here pile. Let's see. Okay, let's do Rude Cosmetics. So for Rude Cosmetics, I have 3 palettes. I bought these 2, and this came as a freebie. It's a cute little palette. It's their Party Animals palette. It's this color story here. It's very neutral. It was cute. It worked nice. I think I did a video on this one. But again, it's neutral with just a couple pops of color. I did like this green in here. Ooh, that is very pretty. That is really pretty. It swatches okay. So I think even though I like Rude Cosmetics, this one I'm going to see if I can find a home for it. It's not that old. I think I got it last year. And then the other 2 I got was from the Spellbook collection. I got the Passion and the Love. I believe there were 4 of them, but these were the 2 color stories that I liked the most. This is, I'll just quickly show you this one. Bluey, turquoisey greens. I love it. Going to keep it. And then this one is purples and pink, and I even like the little glitter, so I'm going to keep it. One off. So this is a brand from India. It's Lakme, and I got this as a gift. A friend of mine was going to India, and she said, "What would you like something as a gift from India?" And I said, I looked and I'm like, oh, they have their own makeup brand. So I got this. This is a very cute little palette. Again, this green is really pretty. This is one of the palettes I picked online, and luckily she was able to find it. It's a gift. It's a cute little palette. It's pretty neutral, like neutrally pinky shades. Oh, I dropped the little brush in there. But I think I'm going to keep it, and this might be just good for something to travel with. Plus, it was a gift. I try not to, unless there's something wrong with it or they get super, super old, I try to keep gifts. Let's see here. Oh, let's go with one of my smallest palettes. So this is by Sigil Inspired, or I guess makeup by Tammy Tenuka. And when they said it was small, they were not kidding. This is probably one of my most expensive palettes and my smallest palette. But I adore this color story. I adore the quality, and she's keeping it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here's another brand. They're releasing a couple new palettes. They were just in my new releases, and I like them a lot. And this is a Shall We makeup. And for their very first release, I was lucky and I got I was one of the first. I think at the time it was 200. I think this one is now 100. I got the little mini palette that goes with. So I will show you the color story here really quickly. So it is this, and of course it's greens, and it has that beautiful silver and that beautiful fiery shade there, and it is so soft and beautiful. It's recent. It's recent as of last year, and I really like it, so I am keeping it. And then if you just want to see, if you were interested in the new release, the little palette that came with, here I'll just take the little paper out. It doesn't have a mirror, but it has the exact same colors, and like a little bit teenier, but not that much different than if you would get like an Urban Decay palette, maybe like a little shorter than those type of pans, but it is really cute. And if I ever needed makeup that was a small to take with, that'd be a cute little palette to take, but I just like to keep it, and I will just keep it for what it is. Alrighty, we're almost done this basket. Let's do, all right. So I'll have one in a bigger one, and then I've got the smaller one. So I only have two from Natasha Denona. I've got one that you'll see later, and then or maybe it's in this basket here. It's somewhere around anyways. And I've got this one here, and then this one I bought myself. The other one was in a mystery box too. It was the same thing as the Charlotte Tilbury. So it was in the Beautylish bag box, whatever it is that comes out every year. So this is the mini Xenon palette. I love this palette so much. If you want to do a black, gray, silverish, smoky eye, this is the perfect palette. So you could take this and maybe I don't know, take this one and the little Lakme palette, or I don't know, the Shall We palette, and you're covered for looks. This is very cute, easy to take around with you, and it is the perfect color story. So we are going to keep that one. Let's see here. Here's a little palette. This I got from my friend Sylvia in a little makeup swap. And so this is from Primark. It's really cute. Yeah, so if you went on vacation, you could take this for smoky eye, this for a neutral eye, or a pop of green, pop of blue look. Look at that, it would take up so little of no space. It's a cute little palette. The quality is not bad. I mean, Primark is inexpensive. Again, this was also a gift. Ooh, this one doesn't, that one doesn't swatch so well anymore, but I'm going to keep it. It takes so little space anyways, so there we go. Okay, here's another one-off. So this is from the brand NYX. I got this one last year. This is from their Magic Marker collection. It's okay. It's a teeny weeny rainbow palette. I just wanted to try their quality. Sometimes I think some of the NYX palettes are a little bit expensive, and this was at a decent price, so thought I could try it. It is nice and bright. Yeah, I think I got it last year. I think I'm just going to see if my friend's daughter wants it, because it is nice and rainbow, so we are going to let that one go. All right, so the last three things in the palette are from e.l.f. I did originally have one from the Mint collection. I decluttered that or gave it to a friend ages ago because I hated it. These three were from the original of these sets. I was trying so hard to get this one and I couldn't, and it was before I joined the e.l.f. website or whatever, so I had gotten these via Amazon, I believe. And the quality is really, really excellent on these, but these color stories, that's neutral, pinkish. I've got this in other colors. So these two, I'm going to see if somebody wants those, because I think I just used them once and that's it. But this one I'm going to keep, and of course it is the jalapeno one. And it is gorgeous, and I think they still swatch okay. I think I used it not that long ago. Yeah, so there we go. So I'm going to keep that one. So there we go. So that's our first basket done, and I think there we go. It's way less full than it was. So those are the ones we're for sure keeping, and then I've got my stack that I'll show them again at the end that we're giving away, and there's two that I'm thinking about. So now we're gonna go on another basket of one-off, two-offs, and yeah, see what we think here. So I'm going to go with these two on the side, and we've got Minty Makeup, the Empowerment Eyeshadow. She's a small brand, trans woman owned. She's a performer, and I just gotta hold this one shade. This one shade always wants to fall out. I love this palette so much. I'm gonna keep it forever. It's like these 4 greens are like 4 of my favorite greens here. I just really enjoy this palette so much, and I'm going to keep it. And that's that. Another brand, they're Canadian, even though this was made in the USA. This is the Antiquity palette from Noctex. They have gone out of doing makeup, but I had wanted this one for so long. They had a sale, and this was before they decided to stop doing makeup. They had a sale, so I had previously bought some singles from them, and I really enjoyed them, and then when this came on sale, I picked this one up. I like how you can easily depot these. So they're a magnet. I could actually take out if there was a shade or two I didn't like and put a couple of my singles in there. I really like this palette. They're Canadian and like a Canadian company, so I'm just going to keep it, and I like it. It gives some nice grungy looks to it. So this one is recent in my collection, and this is from Jean-Luc Cosmetics, and this is the Everything palette. This is a great little palette. It's mostly neutral with a little bit of pops of color, but because they had kind of gone viral on TikTok, they were Canadian, I thought, okay, let's do this thing. Let's give them a try, and I really like this palette. Everything gives a good punch, the darks, the pops of color. This is really nice. Is this generally a palette I would have bought? No, but I did try this. I tried lip product, and I think it was the highlighter that I bought. Yes, so I really enjoyed it. Again, Canadian, so we're going to keep it. Speaking of Canadian, this is Jordy. This is the Pressed Pigment palette, the Ugly palette from It's Likely Makeup. They're really known for doing eyelashes, but then they put out this palette, and then they had this shade here, which was voted the world's ugliest shade, and she put it in the palette, and it is not an ugly shade. It is very nice. I mean, is it something that I would on my walls or the color of my car? No, but it is definitely a nice dark outer edge corner color. I really like this, and again, Canadian, so keeping it. And then one more Canadian brand, and this is Myas Cosmetics. This is their Lust palette. I think I did a video on Canadian makeup, and let's open it here. And this was the one that they had 2 palettes out at the time. They may have 3 now, I can't remember. But this was the one that was the most colorful, that wasn't rainbowish. I think the other one was a little bit more too rainbow, and I have enough of those that we'll see later. I'm not a glitter fan, but these weren't bad, and I quite like this palette, and they're Canadian and local to Vancouver. I do have another Canadian brand in the mix, but I have a lot of their stuff, so we will talk about them later. So we're gonna keep all those because they are Canadian. All right, so let's do a few one-off, two-offs. Let's do this. So this is W7. I do have a palette somewhere in the bigger piles. So they're kind of a dupe brand. I think this one is supposed to maybe be duping one of the ABH palettes. I think that's what they mostly dupe. And then the other one I have is where they're duping a BePerfect. But anyway, so this is it. This is a cute little palette. It was nice. It worked fine. I've only used it once, never went back to it again. So it's almost brand new. So I'm going to, and I haven't had it that long, maybe a year or so. So again, I'm going to see if a friend wants it. If not, bye-bye W7. All right, let's throw that over there. Okay, so let's see, do we get another one off? Yes. So this is from Cara Beauty. This is their Capricorn palette. I did not like their Gemini palette, but I did like the Capricorn palette. And I got this in our Winter's Home Sense. This one is really, really cute. I like the color story. This one might be also good for traveling with. Again, I've used it once. I've not used it again, but I quite like it. So I'm going to put this into the I'm going to think about it pile. And then we have Moira Cosmetics. This was a brand that I wanted to try. I've actually panned their bronzer. I have a blusher. Oh, bless me. It must be all the powdery eyeshadow. So anyways, I wanted to try them. So I bought this palette. I bought a blush palette. It was kind of crazy color, so that one will take me a while to use. And then I bought a bronzer palette that had a matte bronzer and a shimmery bronzer, and I used the whole thing. I loved it. So if you ever see their bronzers, highly recommend. And then this is the palette out of all the palettes that they had out at the time, and it was available in my London charts. That I liked the most, and it's pretty much a rainbow palette with some neutrals. It's a really, really cute. I did like these two shimmers in the center. Again, I think I've used it once. That's the thing when you buy too much eyeshadow. So I'm not sure. So I'm also going to stick this one into the maybe pile because I want to see how many other things that are more rainbowy. Okay, so I'm going to put that into the maybe pile. So this one is more keep than giveaway so far. So here is Violet Voss. This is a Violet Sunset. I had got this in a mystery box through Poshmark. I always wanted to try Violet Voss, and this was a cute palette. I did, I think, one look with it, but it's too neutral for me. It doesn't have a lot of purples in there, so I'll see if somebody wants it, but other than that, it's going to go in the bye-bye pile. Quality was fine. It was fine. It was okay. Let's see. Oh, another thing that I've always wanted to try was I wanted to try all the Sofa X palettes, but we don't get a lot of Revolution here. A lot of the Revolution we have is really old. Oops. But I did see this one at, I was going to say I didn't, normally it's just at Shoppers Drug Mart. But I saw this at our Winter's Home Scent, so I grabbed it, but it was the mini eyeshadow of one of the Sofa palettes. I did I think like kind of like a sunset look. Again, this one is way too neutral with just a couple pops of shimmer and that pop of red. The quality was fine. It was nice. I can see why people like that Revolutions, I guess, spends more money on their Sofa collabs, but yeah, I don't really use it. So it was just, I wanted to try it. So it wasn't that much. It might've been $6 or $7 maybe. So that's going to go into the giveaway or it's done pile. Oh, here are a couple really ones that I really like. So this is from Game Beauty. This is the Adventure palette. This was the very first release. I've wanted a few others from them, but you know, finances, trying to be in a no-buy, other color stories have unfortunately, made me not buy anymore, which is sad. Like their last release was really, really great. But this color story definitely screams me. I know that they've changed their formula. I know some people said, Angelica Nyquist said she liked trying them and was thankful that they sent them to her, but she wished they would up their game. And apparently they have changed their formula, but I really liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. It's really cute. It's by Color Story Jam. I love the packaging so much, so I'm going to keep it. Now this palette is amazing. This is the Blood Moon palette from Wednesday Cosmetics. I'll just quickly show you the color story because this is going nowhere, and it has one of the best silvers around. As you can see, I've quite dipped into that. I do like this color story. Do I have a black, a red, a blue? Sure, but that silver is worth keeping it. The packaging is worth keeping it, and I just love it, and the quality is great, so it stays. I have two very early Shine by SD palettes. They've changed, I think, packaging, and I don't know if they changed formula, but they've definitely changed packaging. This is the Green Ocean pop-up palette. I really like it. Oh yeah, they're also Canadian, so I'm not going to give that one away. And if you know, I also like yellows and oranges. So I have the Tuscan Sun pop-up palette. The blue and the purple one I liked as well. But this one came shattered, but it was okay. It was just kind of like a layer that broke off. And I think one I had to push in a little bit. But this is a really pretty color story. And again, Canadian, I'm going to keep them. Next up, this is a brand from Belarus. These they had palettes that you can pick and palettes that you can build. And I believe one I built, So this one I built, and this one I believe was a pre-made palette. I can tell from when I open it. Yes, this was a pre-made. So let's start with pre-made. As you can tell, it has a different logo on there. I can't remember if this one had a name. Oh, this was the Stone Collection. So I wanted to pick one to pick something that had all their different formulas, and then I really liked this color story, so I picked this up. This is from Belarus. I really like the quality. I definitely need to use them more. I'm definitely going to keep this stone palette like so. And then this one also came with an extra sleeve, so it was like just one of their releases, like so. And then this one, this is the one I made myself. And again, I was trying to try something from all their different like shimmer formulas, and of course the black. So I wanted to try their black and then try their different types of shimmery formulations. And some of these colors work well with this palette as well. So I'm going to keep this as well. Next up, oh, here's a brand I really like. This is a Dose of Colors. Some of the Dose of Colors palettes, again, same thing too, have like carmine in them, so it's really hard for me to pick up some of their palettes, but this one does not. And look at this color story. It is army, greeny, grungy awesomeness with this kind of like terracotta shade. I love this. The quality is nice, so I'm going to keep it. And I think this may be my only Dose of Colors palette. I can maybe check. I have another couple piles of one-offs, but I think this might be my only Dose of Color, so I'm going to keep that as well. They have my favorite liquid lip at the moment. Now we've got Shroud Cosmetics. So Shroud Cosmetics has two palettes that are on my as soon as I'm off a no buy and I have a few bucks and they have them in stock, I'm going to buy it pile. A lot of other releases have dropped off, but two of them, they're staying quite firm. So I have both of them here. These are the Baddie Bean collection, or used to be Butte Bean, but is now is Baddie Bean. So this is the first one. It's freaking bats. Let's have a quick look at that color story. Woohoo! And I love it. And then this is the second one. Look at that color story there. If they do a third one, I may be in trouble in September or October because I love these. The color stories are perfect. They scream me, and I'm keeping them. Oh, speaking things of that I love and then I'm keeping, I want every single one of their palettes, but girl has no money. But I did finally break down, and I got a good deal on shipping, was the House of L palette. I'm a huge fan of the original Superman. Christopher Reeves is forever the only Superman. When I die, you can pick another one. But right now, Christopher Reeve is it. And the owner Adept is also Gen X and also loves Christopher Reeve and believes he's the original Superman. And here is the House of L palette. This color story is amazing. These shimmers, oh my God. I can see why everybody loves Adept and why people keep buying the palettes. I do want more. I love this one. This is staying with me forever. Oh, here's another Canadian brand that I have a one-off. This is Cleona Cosmetics. This is their Dragon Fruit palette. Another really stupidly expensive palette with stupidly expensive shipping. I kind of regret it for that. I actually wanted their highlighters they released at that time, but that was the first thing that sold out, and I shouldn't have bought this, but I was at a low moment, and I was like, you know what, if I can't get the highlighters, let's get this. Now, the color story itself is absolutely beautiful. The quality is amazing. It is not, I know everybody loves the stained glass collection. I have a few of those in my singles and I like them, but I've tried better. I'm sorry. I know people are crazy and they want to buy all the shiny shimmeries, but I think I'd rather have Gourmand girls. And I love Canadian, like I said, I'm not giving up any of my Canadian makeup, and I won't give up this one because the color story is beautiful. But if I had again and the new one is really kind of nice that they just released, but if I had a choice of Cleona or Gourmand girls, I'm running for Gourmand girls. So just telling you that in advance, but this is a beautiful palette, so I'm keeping it. Another one-off. So this is a brand I've always wanted to try. I still, every time when they send that they have restocks, so many of the releases I like, but it was a little bit of a bitter experience getting this one. I'm over it now. They're fine. There's no black X against them or anything. You know, it's nothing to hold against, but it took me a while to get the Serenity palette. This was the Annette X Menagerie Cosmetics for Annette's Makeup Corner. I also have the lip gloss too. I managed to throw that in the last minute when we finally were able to get it sent to Canada. It is a fabulous color story. The quality is really good. I'm going to keep it. That's that. Another one-off. This was one that I wanted for a long time. Her makeup is very expensive. I mean, it's made in Sweden. So this is from Linda Hallberg. There was a girl in the Make Me Up Missa group, I believe. She was selling some makeup. I got this and I got something else from her. I can't remember what it is now. This is the one that definitely stands out. And yeah, so she kind of didn't like it and or wasn't using it and kindly sent this to me. And I love it. I love the big pans. I love the color story. I think the quality is just fine. It's a nice pastel-y palette with a couple pops of shimmer. They're just regular shimmers, but like I said, I very much enjoy it and I'm keeping it. Let's see, another one off is Sigma. So this is from Sigma Beauty. This was the first collection I've ever bought for them. I picked up this, their blusher, and then I think I picked up maybe I did a second order where I picked up some brushes and stuff. But anyways, collection-wise, this was the first collection I bought from them. This and a, maybe it was blusher highlighter? Yes, blusher highlighter. I think that's how it went. So this is it here. Generally, like with Urban Decay, I usually get rid of the brushes, but this is the one brand where the brushes that they include with their palettes is their beautiful brush quality. So it's not like a junky brush put in for free. So there we go. I love this color story. I love the quality. Definitely need to use this some more. So we're keeping this from Sigma. Now this next one, every time I look at it, I still cannot believe that I was gifted this palette. I love this. Wilma, I'm forever thankful for this. This is the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Nocturnal palette. I love this. Oh, their new one looks so good. But alas, I am trying to be a good girl. But look at that color story. It is beautiful. That black is amazing. Like, look at these. Like, this is gorgeous. I love it. Yes, we're keeping it. 100%. Love it forever and ever and ever. This one is a little sad. I think they just did another release of this as well. So this is the Sydney Grace Tiny Marvels palette. This was a collab with Mel Thompson, who has since passed away. This is lovely. I'm going to keep it forever. That green is just so beautiful. I just love the art. I love the feel of the packaging. Sydney Grace quality is amazing. I can see why people talk about Sydney Grace all the time. This is a lovely palette. I am keeping it. Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking about things I'm keeping. I have a whack of eyeshadows that I forgot to take pictures of that are sitting under my... I'm terrible. I'm going to grab them shortly. So anyways, there's this one. Another one-off for eyeshadow palettes. I do have, I believe, a lippy and a blush palette that I'm going to keep forever. This is from OPV Beauty. This is their Spotlight palette. I just love this palette. I got this through Poshmark because getting OPV here is pretty expensive. The blush I got in a Trend Mood box. And I love it so much. So I really like this. I like the color story. The shimmers, again, are your everyday type shimmers. So if you're expecting multichrome duochromes or to be seen from space, these aren't it. But if you just like a beautiful regular shimmer, this is it. I'm keeping it. Love it. Okay, so this is one I'm on the fence about because it's okay. This was what I got in a Trend Mood box. This is the other Natasha Denona that I own. And this is the color story here. It's okay. It's fine. It's nice. Oh, I'm using red on a black finger. But the like, again, I hear, again, same thing too, like with Pat McGrath, the more expensive palettes are generally the ones that apparently are the better quality. So, but it is a cute color story, and so I may keep this one just a little bit longer. Maybe I should play with it once again. I think I've done 2 looks with it. Maybe I should play with it one more time. And then if I do another round of declutters and if I still haven't found a way to like it better or keep using it, then I may go into a clutter. So for now, I'm going to take that and then we're going to pop these in. So this was a little bit less decluttered. But depending on what happens, at least these fit all in right now. Okay, now that I remembered what was under my dresser, I better go get it. All right, here we go. So let's do it. Let's go with Alien/Unearthly Cosmetics because I just remembered that I had these underneath. So first off, we've got Alien Cosmetics. This was the Smells Like Holiday Spirit collection where there were 3 lip products and there was this beautiful eyeshadow palette. When it was originally released, I wanted it so bad, but I wasn't financially in the spot for it. But then when they were changing from Alien to Unearthly, they were selling at an amazing price. The packages that still had Alien. I missed the Dark Knight or Dark something collection, but this one out of the two was the one that I wanted the most. But look at that color story. I love their quality. I love the size of these pans. So of course we are keeping it. The next collection that I got here from them was the best mystery box I've ever opened in my entire life. And this was their Halloween mystery box. I did a video with the Wilma Fingerdew review, and oh, there's not a mark on there. No, there we go. Excellent. This beautiful box. This too, didn't come with that, but we'll talk about that after. Came with 3 palettes, a highlighter palette, and the lipstick. And of course, I'm keeping it. All 3 palettes were absolutely perfect. Let's quickly go, and that was Halloween, so that's why I had popped that one in there. This is the Witching Hour. This was the very first palette that I ever picked up from Unearthly, which you can tell, Alien Cosmetics. I picked it up before, I guess at the original release. So there we go. This is beautiful. I love it. So of course, and it's Halloween, so it goes nowhere. And then lastly from Unearthly, now they just released a mystery. They had released a regular mystery box or a summer mystery box, and now they've got another Halloween one that came in two different sizes, or one size. I wish I could afford it, about $186 US with the exchange plus shipping to get it to Canada, and I know I will be hit with duty because that Halloween one almost killed me. No thank you, though I love it. And those, the small and big mystery box, had I not been in no buy, I would have bought both of them. And it would have said held to the shipping. They were both beautiful, but that's okay. But then we've got the Halloween. Now, after how much the Halloween was great, the Valentine's Day box was a teeny bit of a disappointment. We had hoped it would be more anti-Valentine's, but it's still great. Oh, am I opening the right side? Oh, there we go. Yes, I had it right. So this one had come with a blush palette. See, so with this other one was the highlighter, the lip products, and the 3 palettes. I would have given up 1 palette to have had a blush palette in there, but we got the blush palette here. And then we got this eyeshadow palette here, which of course I'm going to keep. Artwork is amazing. The color story wasn't as, like I said, anti-Valentine's as we hoped, but it was nice. I did a cute look with it. I definitely need to use it more. I love that light pink. That red is amazing. And yeah, so there we go. That is my Unearthly collection, Alien/Unearthly. It isn't massive, but I like everything that I got. I am not unhappy with it. I do have some blushes as well, different like single blushes. So that's those. And I'm keeping the boxes. They're collection boxes are the bee's knees. All right, next up. So these are going to be let go over my rotting corpse, but I thought we can quickly go over the collection that I have. So the most recent is Gourmand Girls X Cosmic Peaches. This is the virtual palette, and I got this through the Ice Cream Beauty Box. And there were 2 different palettes. There was a more neutrally sized, grungy neutrally one, which is definitely Cosmic Peach's favorite type looks. And then there was this bright colorful, which is my favorite. Unfortunately, the one shade came totally smashed, but I got it pretty much smushed in. I mean, I think I lost maybe a quarter of it, but it's still usable. It's absolutely beautiful. I adore this palette. Look at that. It screams 1980s, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes. Next up, these are not going to be in any kind of order. I think I'm just going to grab from the stack. This one I love. So this is the Galactic Gourmand. And this one is all the fancy shades. And as you can see, I've been happily playing with these. These are gorgeous. I love them. Like I said, I am not giving them up ever. Now let's look at some more gorgeous. This is the Ethereal palette. This one too, wait till you see it. Again, it's one of all fancy shades. This is where their mattes are really good. They're blacks. But this is where Gourmand Girls really, really shines in their beautiful shimmers, duochromes, multichromes. Like they're all like stunning. So that is the Ethereal palette. And I got through a sale, I got this one and this one at the same time. This is the Radioactive palette. And then this is in the round pans. People have, some like round, some like square better. I don't care, as long as the shadows work really well and is a good use of space. And as you can see, I've liked this one as well with the sparkle everywhere, though I definitely need to use them more. This, love it. Nope. I broke down and they did a summertime Halloween release, and yes, I did. I picked it up. I broke my no buy for it. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. I might even have said in the beginning that I might do that Halloween would be the hardest part for me. But look at this color story. It is beautiful. I've used it a few times, and I've used it for some of my Dupe This palettes. But this is so gorgeous. I love it. And when I get my other one, I should definitely do a look with both of them together. This one, finally got a hold of this. A friend did a declutter and this came my way. They just really loved the one shade, which you will see. Everything else they liked, but they liked the black and they really loved this one shade, but they didn't feel that they would give it as justice, and they knew I was very sad that I missed this. Like, every time it was on the website, something else caught my attention and I picked it instead. But I'm lucky that this came my way. So there we go. And then we're going to do the first two palettes I ever got from them. It was That Time of Year palette. And this is still one of my favorite palettes from Gourmand Girls. It's a mix of mattes and shimmery shades. But this shade that's called, what is it, this one? The Feels and Twinkling Lights. So Twinkling Lights and The Feels, I adore these shades so much. I would totally buy those as singles. They're more toppery shades, but I love them. This one's cooler, this one's warmer. I adore this palette. It was a Christmas release. I don't think it was last Christmas, the year before. Can't remember. But anyway, I adore this palette. And at the same time, because they had a deal, it was you could get these two together or you could get these two together. And I was thinking deal-wise, getting two bigger palettes was better. And yeah. And there we go. And then this is, I think, an earlier palette. I think this one also, yes, this was a collab with Christina Race Makeup. This is really, really pretty. It's kind of rainbowy, neutrally. This is a good palette to, and then the beautiful black. This would be a good palette to take on vacation. You could cover most of your bases, I think, with this. Yeah, this is beautiful. So these were the first two. And yes, over my rotting corpse will I give up any of these. All right, next pile. Since this is small, I just grabbed a couple piles. So first up on top is Sample Beauty. This was one that I'd seen through Make Me Up Missa and different makeup groups. Sample Beauty, not this particular palette. This was the first one that I picked up, and this is the Hydrographic, because I picked this one first because originally I picked it in with a Beauty Bay order. This just reminded me of the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette, and at the time I don't think Ace Beauté was, or they had just left maybe Beauty Bay, can't remember, and this was at such an affordable price. I thought, well, then I can live vicariously and have something that looked like it, and then I picked this one up. I really like it. The quality is great, so I'm keeping it. And then we have the Sample Beauty Equalizer palette. This is the Equalizer 1. There was the 1 and the 2, but the 1 is the one that I like the best. Again, this is pretty rainbow-y, but I like how it's like they have the yellow and then they have the yellow shimmer on the other end. So like the orange shimmer, the green shimmer, the red, then the red shimmer. I like how they did that. And then just down the center, they did all the neutrals. So the shimmer, the matte, the shimmer, the matte, the shimmer, the matte. So I quite liked how they did this. And then along the bottom too. The white with white again, gray with, kind of a gray with a black. I just really liked how this layout was, like the color story, like the quality. Even though, again, I have a couple other palettes that are kind of rainbowy, and I'm thinking that maybe I should give up a rainbow palette or two, but I think I'm going to, for now, keep the Sample Beauty. Now, this next one here, Well, this is also going nowhere. This is the Blend Bunny Surge palette. I would like to get some more Blend Bunny palettes. I have this and I have the highlighter one that I really, really love. But here we go. Look at this color story. And again, I like how they always lay them out. I like how they lay them out by color stories. I always like that the shimmers are generally in one row or two rows, or in this case, they did the shimmers in a row and then they did the pastels separately from the other shades, but it was still in color stories. So you got your green, your bluey turquoise, your purple, your pinks, your orange and neutrals, and other shades. Because I mean, there's, you know, there's like green, white, black. But anyways, I really like the layout. The quality is fantastic. I definitely should use it more. I should use most of my palettes more. Buying more palettes is ridiculous, as you see by my collection. Now, this one I bought because was wanting to try BePerfect. I didn't. It was expensive to get to Canada, whole deal. So I thought, and then I heard about this dupe and it was super cheap. So I thought I would try it and I really did like it. So this is the Carnival. I can't remember which is the dupe. If this was the dupe of not the original, but maybe the Carnival 2. I don't know. So anyways, this was a really nice quality. It's a nice palette. But because you'll see that I do now have one of the carnivals and I've got BePerfect, I think I'm going to see if somebody would like this. It's a great palette. The price is awesome. The quality is good. If you're wanting affordable, you can get this via Amazon. I know some other stores in the States may carry W7. There's a W7 US website and then there's a UK one because I think they are a UK brand, I think. But anyways, yeah, it's good quality. I enjoyed it, but now that I have some BePerfect, I think this one can find another home. Okay, so next up, these are a couple other ones that are over my Rotting Corpse. So the first one is the Give Me Glow Vivid Rose palette. I just love these palettes. I want the first one first. I think there's Vivid Rose and the other one is something else rose that is supposed to be, oh, Vintage Rose, right? Vivid Rose and Vintage Rose. I would like to get the Vintage Rose ones, but I really do like this. The colors are gorgeous. I do like, oh, they're so soft. I do like their shimmery shades. I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful. So keeping that. And then of course, this is the newest one that I got. They're expensive to get to me, and they're loose highlighter. Oh, I have one and it's my favorite loose highlighter. Maybe one of my favorite highlighters. So anyways, this is the Haunted Pumpkin. They're having a sale this weekend. It was so tempting. It was all this 30% off. But look at this. The sizes of the pans are amazing. The color story is amazing. The quality is awesome. It's Halloween. It's perfect. I'm keeping it. Alrighty. So that's those piles. Okay. Next up, here's some more. All of these I will never give up. So let's do them in their order of their release. All right. So this is from Lois Cosmetics. This is the Rose Metal palette. It is no longer available, but it is beautiful. It is probably my favorite pink with neutral palette. And again, this also has a very good black. I love Lois Cosmetics. I know they moved. I hope there's going to be some more releases in the future, but this was the first palette they ever released. I got this one and this next one, I believe, at the same time. I had also had a contest and I had got a dupe, I think, of this one, and I had done a contest with it, but in one of our mystery boxes. But anyways, love this palette so much. Then we have the Gone Rogue palette. I believe this one is still available, and this green is Life. So is that pink. I just love this palette. You can see you can tell I love that shade, I love that shade, I like that shade. There's a divot in there. I need to use the other ones as well because I do love good orange, reds, and yellows. I love this palette. Then we had the one that everybody wanted and kept selling out. So this is from Lois Cosmetics. This is the Meet Me in the Underworld palette. This one is probably the most beautiful palettes around. Check that out. Green and grungy and shiny on that side. And then you've got some pinks and kind of neutrally shades. I love this palette. And again, another good black. This is such a beautiful palette. And again, Lowest Cosmetics quality is amazing. And I believe, and this is definitely still available on her website. And then we have the last palette that had come out, and this was the Meet Me at Midnight, Lowest Cosmetics. And this color story is also beautiful. So probably the second most beautiful palette out there. This blue is amazing. As you can tell, I've used that one a lot. This green is amazing. This purple is lovely. This black has a little bit of shimmer in it, but I think it was just more for blendability because I usually don't see the shimmer, but it's very nice and dark and gorgeous. And then by accident, I got my nail in there. Ooh, let's move that out. And there we go. So all of these I'm keeping forever. Unless, I don't know, unless I grow legs and walk away or something, we're keeping those forever. All right, so here is, yes. So here is another brand that I love, and this is Colored Rain. They have some of my favorite blushes. I like some of their, I'm not usually a neutral lipstick person, but I love some of their neutral lipsticks that I've been using like crazy. And these are the 3 palettes that I have. So this was the, was this one? No, this, let's go with the first one I ever got. So this is the first one I ever got. Now, there's another palette that I have as a Super Rainbow. Had I not had this one, or yes, I got this one first, and had I thought it through, I wouldn't have got the other one. But anyways, so this is from Colored Rain. So this is almost a rainbow color. I mean, it doesn't, palette doesn't cover all the things. I think that's why I bought the other one, but I think this would have been enough in colors that I like: purple, blue, green, orange, yellow, you know. This is a beautiful palette. Haven't used it as much as I should, really. I got this early on, and I think so many other things just kind of piled up, but I am going to keep it. The second one I ever got was the Smoke Show, and I think I might have got this in a, I want to say Trend Mood box, maybe? Yes, I think, yes, I got it in a Trend Mood box. So I gotta be careful, this black goes everywhere, but it is a great black. So there's this little palette here, so you can do a nice neutral eye, and then you can do a grungy green eye with some smoked out black. I do like this palette. I don't use it as much as I should. I think I'm going to stick that in the maybe pile. Like, I do like it, but I think I like half of it, and then the other half I don't really use. So I might even depot a few shades, but I'm going to put this into the maybe. Now this I got in a mystery bag, and I was so glad I got it because it had the brand new release in it before they released it. So this is the Thunder palette by Colored Rain. This is the newest one that I have, and I adore this palette. It is definitely the different versions of rainy days, thundery days, cloudy days. This is the perfect bluish palette. I love this one. The shimmers as well are just your everyday shimmers, not anything super blingy special, but they are pretty. So if you like a pretty normal shimmer, you don't need to be seen from space, this is absolutely beautiful. So I'm definitely keeping that one. All right, let's pick another couple piles here to go through. This is taking us forever. Okay, we're gonna try and move a little bit faster here. So here's a brand that I totally love, and I'm not going to give any of these up either. This is Sugar Drizzle Polish. This is the first palette I ever got. This is the Pickle palette. This one I will show because look at it. It's perfect, and it screams at me, and it's amazing. We are keeping it. This one was given as a gift, which I'm going to keep forever. Plus, it is Sugar Drizzle Polish, so we're keeping it. This is the Butterfly palette. We also have the Frosty Flamingo, which I don't have a thing on there, so I quickly open it. This was a Christmas release. This color, I love them so much. So I had that. And then this one, the Man I Love Frogs. And of course I had to get this. I'll quickly show you this color story because I have thrown away the cover spot. Look at that. So this is an all shimmery, no mattes. Absolutely stunning, like this portion here. And then this one, I adore this, not going anywhere. Yay, Sugar Drizzle Polish. That's another brand where I want all their stuff. Okay, next up we've got a little bit of Trixie Cosmetics here. So I've got the Trixie and Juno palette. This was, all 3 of these were gifted to me actually. So this is this one here. This is the controversial Black Not Black. It's a cute little palette. Will I have bought it? I generally wouldn't have, but I do love Juno Birch. And and it was a gift and it works lovely. I like it, so I'm going to keep it. Then we have the Plant Gay. I think I might have called it Planet Gay when I filmed it, but it's the Plant Gay palette. Also Trixie Cosmetics. This one I really, really enjoy. This color story is perfect. Again, this is another, I think it's supposed to be a black, I think, but it's not a black. Trixie needs to learn how to do blacks. But the rest of this palette is fantastic, so we are keeping it. And then lastly, we got, it's a collab. It's Trixie Cosmetics / Sugar Pill, and this is the Oh Honey 2 collection. This one came with a palette and a lip gloss. Generally not a lip gloss person, but I do like that one. Here's a quick look at this palette. The black had come, my friend who got this, black came totally murdered. So they sent her a new one, as you can see by the great big hole in there. She tried to press it in as much as she can and it put black everywhere, but they were kindly sent her another one. She thought they were just gonna send her a shade or maybe the palette, but they sent her the whole collection. So she passed me this copy and it is great. This blush is fantastic. It's worth just getting it for this blush. Like seriously, just love it. So we are going to keep that as well because A, it was a gift, and B, I love it. So why wouldn't I keep it? Alrighty. Now we're going to go with another brand. This is one that everybody loves. I kind of love, but don't love. I think they've really things have improved when it comes to their shimmery shades. I always found that I always had to tap them out because they would just get weird bald patches, but they're getting better. But the first palette that I got that I've always loved is the Pastels palette. Now I thought about getting rid of this one because it is super old, and I think I have some shades that are pastely that I could use, but I think I'm going to keep it. So there we go. It's good for blending out, so that's why I like it. Let's see, let's go the first other palette that I got. So the first one I got, this is the Bright Mattes, and this was, I think I had this one first, and then I got the Colored Rain one, and I was like, nah, thinking of it, I shouldn't have got that one because I already had this one that covers all the Bright Mattes. But the colors in the other one are the ones that I mostly used. So now I kind of wish I got the Color Rain and I didn't get this one, but I do like this. I just have not used it except for a few colors like that one where you can see the B is almost gone and that one where it's almost gone. I've not used it as much as I should. I should kind of do a Rhea thing where if I'm doing a palette that doesn't have enough colors in it, I should just grab this one because this basically covers everything. I'm keeping it. Their mattes have always been good. I've not had a problem with that. So there we go. So the first one I ever got from their limited editions was the Age of Opulence palette. Now the color story for this palette is absolutely perfect. I'm going to keep all these, by the way. Is absolutely perfect. I love it. Could have taken out a couple neutrals? Of course I could. This one I do find, like, I adore the color story, hence me keeping it, but this is one of the ones where when I use these, they would just totally get weird. So during the day I have to go like to get them to keep better. So that was kind of my problem with it, but I don't mind. It's fine. So I'm going to keep this. And plus it was limited edition. I don't think you can get it anymore. I think it's one that's no longer available. Then I got at the same time, I wasn't going to get them, but then there was a sale or something and I got them. So I got the Dark Fantasy and the Wilderness. And then this one's where I really noticed how the quality somehow on the shimmers got better. This one was good as well. I don't think I had to do as much repressing when I used these shades. And then this color story is beautiful. Of course I love green, so I'm not going to give away a palette that has greens in it. But this Dark Fantasy one, this is where I noticed that they had really upped the games on the shimmers, and I had no problems with these ones. So like this green and this blue stayed put, this purple stayed put the whole time. So I don't know what they've done to tweak around, but definitely upped the game here. But I have not bought anything since, but I'm going to keep all of these for now. All right, trying to see if I can get through these really quickly. All right, here's a brand that I really love, loving their palettes. I'm just gonna motor my way through them, but this is the Ace Beauté Blossom Passion? So, yes, this is the one that I have that found religion. It came broken. It was from a mystery bag they were doing. I love it. I'm keeping it. It's perfect. This was, this also came in that one. This is the Classical Paradise. Generally not my color story, but I really like it. I love their quality, so I'm keeping it. Not in the mood to get rid of any of their palettes. I got the Violet Sage. I got this one through Poshmark because it was part of some kind of like Ipsy or glam bag somewhere, and they had a few on their website, but they sold out, and I really liked this color story. The quality is amazing. I think this is one of the only ones that I have that's in the new formula. I love it. So there we go. The first one I ever got from them was this one. This is the Ace Beauté Nostalgia palette. I also got this one on Poshmark. I love this color story. The quality is amazing. I'm keeping it. And then, of course, the best one of all time I think that they've ever released is the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. This is the old quality. I know they released it. Some people said they didn't like the old quality. The old quality is just fine. And this color story is the best color story, one of the best color stories ever. It's favorite of mine. Like I said, that Sample Beauty one was relatively close to this, and I'm keeping it. So there we go. I love Ace Beauté. So all right, so next up is another favorite brand, and this is Lethal Cosmetics. So this one I got in a mystery box. This is the Jolena collab that they did. This one kind of came and went. I think Jolena is, I think I looked her up and watched one of her videos that she's a German influencer. So that's probably why it didn't, North America, why I go insane. It's generally not a color story that I would have picked if I was just buying the palette, but since it was in a mystery box, I love Lethal. We're keeping it. Let's see. This is one of the newest ones I got. This is the Teresa is Lethal. I love this palette. We'll take a quick look. This again is another kind of more Halloween related palette. It's a collab with Teresa is Dead, so hence it is Teresa is Lethal. We are keeping it. We're going to keep all our Lethal. Who are we kidding? Here's the Berlin 89. I know a lot of people didn't know what to do with the color story. Some people didn't like it. I love it, hence I bought it. Let's see, I'm going to try and do ones that were releases before I go. Okay, so then there were two that came out at the same time. I took their top covers off, so I can't remember. I think one's evergreen and one's something else. These were two, or maybe these were two of the last ones I've got. Yeah, these were the last two. That's a perfect color story. Why would I ever give that up? This cover story is also amazing. Why would I give that up? I would not. And then this was another one that they had released. They had kind of done a part 2 for this. Since I got rid of the covers, sometimes their names don't show up on here. But there was this palette here, and again, purples, blues, a little bit of neutral. I love it. Why would I give it up? So they have palette makers, and I do have some singles. I just had it in this pile, so here are some singles that I got. There was a charity collection, then I got a few of their fancy shades. And then the reason why I'd originally put these in here, because I made complete palettes and color stories that I like. They are known for having a palette builder, but they do come in singles, so I can keep their names without having to take out the pans. I just take the little stickers off the back and put them on top. So this is, I believe this is the first one I ever made. Yes, so this was the first one I ever made. So it's all my favorite greens, purples, and pinks like that. And then, and not like I said, I'm not giving any of these up. And then this was the second one I've ever made. So we've got some blacks and grays. I love yellows. So there we go. So nothing is leaving from those piles. Oh, we haven't pulled anything to go in a while here, have we? Next, another favorite brand that doesn't exist anymore. And then I thought they were trying to come back under MY instead of MI Midas. But so far there has been nothing. But here, let's go backwards. This was the last palette I ever got, I believe. This is the volume 2 of, what is it? Artistry palette, volume 2. And then when you see the color story, you're like, oh, of course. It's beautiful. I love it. Then I got these one too. I kind of regret getting, or at least regret getting both of them, but I got them at a good price and they're no longer available. I love the brand, so it's fine. So it's this little palette here. They're pretty similar. One is supposed to be lighter skin, one's darker skin, but they are basically relatively the same. If the brand still existed, maybe I would consider get rid of one, but I'm not. Now here's my favorite of all time Midas palette, and it's the Lemonade palette. I'm gonna keep this until I've used it totally up. It is my favorite yellow palette. I've not seen anything close to being competition with this one. I adore it. And like I said, we're gonna keep that forever. If I did get rid of, I don't know. I'm gonna put these two in the maybe pile, and I might keep one and get rid of the other, but these two are perfect. And then this is the palette that I think made everybody go crazy about them, and I got them when they were got this one is closing out, was the Flower Bomb palette. Also the one they did a collab with another YouTuber, but there is the Flower Bomb palette, and since they were closing and I love their quality, I thought I'm gonna go and check out this palette. I love it. Again, it's very pastel-y, but I'm going to definitely keep the Flower Bomb palette. And then this one was a collab, and I adore this one as well. And this is the Midas X Drench Cosmetics. And I don't think you can get it on either. You used to be able to get it on both of their websites, but the quality is amazing. This color story is gorgeous. So, and I've used this, and I think I've done a couple of videos on it, or for sure at least one video, but there we go. Nomad Cosmetics. Let's just quickly do these in no particular order. This was from, it was a Tokyo palette, Japan palette. Anyways, there was some flack about the palette, but people were saying, can't you do a palette with some of the best shades from it? So when they pulled that one palette out, they took the beautiful shimmery shades and their fantastic black out from it. Or maybe they added the black, can't remember anymore. My memory's not that good. But anyways, they took all the beautiful shimmery shades and put it into a limited edition Christmas palette. And it is home for the holidays. I like it. I'm keeping it. I love Nomad Cosmetics. So this is the Iceland palette. This one is gorgeous. We are keeping it. Then we have the Snow Lodge palette, same thing too. I like how now they're doing paper instead of plastic. This is gorgeous. I love it. Then this one I bought because it was on sale at the time. This is the Marrakesh palette. I don't know if you can get this one anymore or not. Yes, it's mostly neutrals. I think I probably got captivated by these three colors and the yellow, but at the time I was trying my best to collect as many as I could. I do have one coming. A friend picked it up for me. And then I've got, this was the first one I ever picked up, and this was the one that when I saw it, when it was released, this was what got me into Nomad Cosmetics, and this is the Orient Express palette. It's soft, squishy, velvety. It's very art deco, which I really love. And so is the inside. And this is, again, there's a lot of neutrals in here, but it's just such a beautiful palette and the quality is so good. And I was doing, I think, a little bit more neutral at the time. I was just trying to learn to play with color. And then here is the Haunted Europe. I think I'm getting Royal Europe. I think that's the one that's coming. And anyways, this color story is grungy, dark, and amazing. We're keeping that. And then lastly, we've got the Paradise Pacific, or Pacific Paradise, or something. Paradise Islands. Okay, there we go. And this is just so beautiful. Yes. Again, a lot of these I've just used once or twice. I really need to use them more because I love them, but I only have 2 eyeballs, so it's really hard to use all the eyeshadow. So that's why, except for the last few that are coming, I really need to slow my roll here. All right, so this is a brand that I totally love. If you know me, this is all other side, but you probably can tell by the colors. Juvia's Place. Now I have a few in here that are pretty old, so I really need to kind of come on, do it. Pull the trigger. All right, so these are some of the more newer ones I think I have on top here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. So it was these quads here. They came out at the same time. This was the Rebel Army. This is the Rebel Honey. We've got the Rebel Mints, and we've got the grays, of course, grays, mint greens, army type greens, and then this one I got as a gift because I bemoaned the fact that when I ordered it, this was sold out, I couldn't get it, and then I never got around to getting it, and then I was kindly sent this, and again, this is, I guess, like honey orangey colors, and I love it. I'm keeping all 4 of these, plus they don't take a lot of room. This one I got in a mystery bag, I believe, and this is the Melissa palette, Melissa X Juvia's Place. This one is really cute. There was this one, and I think there was one with Fumi, a blue one, but that one I gave to my friend Wilma because she was loving a shade that she was panning in hers, and I was like, oh, I'm not using it that much, so I sent it to her. But I did quite like this Melissa one here. Again, it's small, it doesn't take a lot of space. I'm going to keep it, and it's pretty recent. This is the Sunset Pinks. Whoops. This is really bright, pretty pinks. I don't think I have too many pinks like this, so I'm definitely keeping that one. Then I have the Allure 2, which is also one of more recent ones. These are all blues, except for like that Colored Rain palette of blue and then some blues mixed in some palettes. I don't have a lot of all blue palettes, and I think this one is perfect. So there we go. We've got the violets. And I do love this. That's not going anywhere. Oh, and then I have the Allure 1, which is the greens with kind of terracotta orange. Keeping those as well. Those are all more recent. This one I can use as eyeshadow or blush. This is the Queen palette by Fumi, so it's Fumi X Juvia's Place. I love Fumi, and so this one's not going anywhere. So we are going to keep that one, even though this one is getting a little older too. So these are, oh, I've got a, let's see, these are all older. Let's go the last other 2 new ones, and then we have to worry about the other ones. So this is the Garden of Juvias. This one was gifted to me, and it is the most beautiful pastel palette. Hi, baby. How are you? You good girl? Yeah? Yeah. All right. So there we go. And again, it was a gift. It's pastels, which I love, and there's some other pastel palettes that I've been really wanting it and I've not been buying because I have like this one and some little ones. So it's perfect. We're keeping it. This one, Wahala 2. This was one of the ones that had brands that had one of the affordable palettes that had a multi-chrome in it, and this is the Wahala 2. I didn't get the Wahala 1, which I think has round pans too. Alrighty, so now we're going to keep all those other ones. Let's look at some of these. These ones are some of the original palettes that came out. I've had them, I think, almost since they were released, so they are pretty old. So this is the Afrique by Juvia's. The covers are always so beautiful. You almost want to, if you're getting rid of them, cut off the covers and keep them, but you know, here we are. This one is really, really beautiful. It's these 2 shades that you can tell that I've used the most out of there, especially that one, even though it's very neutral, but it's the nicest gold. I've not touched this one too much. Maybe I should try the yellow on a finger that doesn't have black to see if it's still... Yeah, this one I've had a long time. I'm going to put this one for a moment in the think about it pile while we go through all these other ones. This one is one that I've always wanted to use more and I never get around to it. This is the Tribe by Juvia's, and more because these 3 are beautiful. This one is super old. Like I got it when it came out. I'm also going to put that in the think about it pile. This is the first palette I ever got from Juvia's Place, and this is the Zulu palette. This one, yeah. And I love this color story. So this one for sure I'm going to keep. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I love these 3 shades in the metal. Even though it's starting to get a bit long in the tooth, I think I'm going to keep this one. And I really need to use it more. I think I just went down the Juvia's Place rabbit hole and started buying more palettes, and you just stop using them because, well, I'm going to use this one, and then, oh, I got the new one, I'm going to use that one. So this one I'm going to keep. So this is the Warrior 2 by Juvia's Place. This one is a all matte, all neutral palette. I've got so many neutrals mixed in, and I don't use neutrals as much. So I think this one we are definitely going to give up. So let's put that in that pile. So next up, we've got the Deuce or Duce by Juvia's Place. This is, I think, the second palette I ever got, and this is the one that I've used the most out of all the palettes. I really liked that pink and that pink, kind of like the silver. But again, this is getting really, really old. And while I Yeah, and that's not really swatching really well. I think I'm going to let this one go as well. Makes me sad letting any Juvia's Place go, but again, these are really old. So then I also have the Saharan 2 by Juvia's. I love this cover so much. And I always like that they have no mirrors. And this one is so beautiful. It's very Marrakeshi vibes that I get from this. I really liked that shade there. See, how does that swatch? Yeah, that still swatches pretty good. Let's try this blue here. Alrighty, so I've given away 2. I've got a whole stack, so let's look. So I really do, those still swatch really nice, but it is pretty neutral heavy. Now this one, also very neutral heavy, but there's definitely more colors that I would use in it. And then this one, yeah, like I would have these would be all in the Colored Rain one. Okay, so I'm definitely going to get, unfortunately, maybe find a home for Afrique. If somebody still wants it to play with. That one. I'm going to still stick this one in the maybe pile that we can go through at the end. Or should I just give one up? Hold on, let's hold them 2 up. Oh. This one I like, just like I think it's because I'm really liking that blue. I wonder if I get to pot that. Okay, I'm going to keep this one for now, and I'm going to put this in the giveaway pile or the get rid of pile, but I'm going to see if I can depot that blue. All right, that's the plan. All right, so 4 palettes, and we're keeping those. So first off we've got here is Kaleidos. I'm not going to do them in any particular order, and some of them, yes, are very old, but here we are. So this is the Kaleidos Flower Punk, and I want to say this is the last palette I ever got from them. Oh, damn it, 1 second. Hi, it's me, the one with too much makeup. All right, so this is the last set of palettes that I got in Kaleidos. But let's just quickly start where we were. So this is the Kaleidos Flower Punk. This is the one that has the magnetic, so you can use the mirror separate and this separate. I adore this color story. I have used, it doesn't look like it has, but I have used this one quite a bit. I do love this one, so I am keeping it. The last thing I got was this collection here. Can't remember what it was called, but it came with a whack of these duochrome multi-chrome pencils. Came with 2 eyeshadow palettes. If you bought the whole thing, you got a free eye base. I love their eye base. And then because I wasn't buying in this collection, I wanted to try one of these blushes. But we're just talking palettes here. These are 2 quads. This one is beautiful neutrally quad, and this one is, I love this one. Like, if I wouldn't have bought the whole set, I probably wouldn't have got this one. I would have just got this color story, but it was kind of in for a penny, in for a pound, and I actually ended up really enjoying that one. So we are still keeping these. We're keeping it as a full collection here in the box, hence me remembering that the last second that I had that as well. All right, then these are some of the last two from this style of collection. So this is the lavender, and this is kind of the neutral one. So this was the lavender set. Some people had trouble with, I want to say it was this shade. I had no trouble with this. So I really enjoy this palette. I am keeping it. And then this one was, I believe, called the Sashimi palette. Again, it was kind of like in for a penny, in for a pound. They were released at the same time, so I thought, let's get them. Yes, it is very neutral, but it is very pretty. I really do like this one, so I'm going to keep it. And plus I love Kaleidos. Then I have 2 from the original series here. I wish I did get more of them. I think there's still 1 or 2 available, but this one, I adore this. This was the first palette I ever got from Kaleidos. I adore this. So it is never going anywhere. And then I got this one, and this is nice, bright, beautiful orange, yellow, green, pink. It's the perfect little palette. I can get quite a few looks off of that. Yes, they're old, but doesn't matter. We are keeping them. And then The one that everybody loved and was so into was the Club Nebula palette. That was the one with Angelica Nyquist. I still have I didn't get one of the specialty drawers I really wanted to, but I do still have the box somewhere. But this is, yes, because I store something in it. But anyways, here is this beautiful color story. I really do like it, especially like these last 3 rows here. And I'm going to keep this one forever too. Okay, so the next up, another brand that I really like is Melt Cosmetics. So the last release that I got from Melt was, all right, so this is the Gemini 2 palette. They did have a deal to get both of them. I think it was free shipping too, but I kind of liked 2 way better, and I thought I would get more use out of it. Got the beautiful greens, and I like these neutrally pinks. They're more pinky tones. I quite liked that, so I do like this palette a lot. So there we go. I'm trying to remember which was the first ones I ever got from them. And I want to say it's probably this one followed by the Beetlejuices. So this is the Blueprint palette. I really, really like this. Now, yes, you could say there's a lot of neutrals, but I think you can make some amazing looks with this. Yes, these 4 shades are the ones that make the palette, but they mix really well to make some really nice eye looks. I really like this palette. I don't know. This one, I think people either loved it or didn't like it. I think it was kind of no middle ground. It was like you loved it or hated it. I loved it. Then I have this. This might have been the second one I've got. This was the Smoke Sessions. And I want to make sure this one's not acting weird, because I know some people in the first release said theirs was acting funny and things were kind of popping up, and then they reissued it. This is from a reissue, and then I heard some people still having that problem, but mine isn't doing that, so it's still in a beautiful nick. And again, the greens with some neutrally shades, but they just go so magically together, so I would never get rid of those. Then I have the coveted Beetlejuice. So I got, oh man, that was something else. So I got, did I get most of the collection? I think so. There we go. Got these 2 palettes. So this was the Recently Deceased. I like how they came with, you know, cards from the show, and now they're doing another Beetlejuice. So that's very exciting. I love this color story. Greens, purples, perfect. You can tell that I use this darker green a lot. I think I'm getting close to pan in that one spot there. Weird digging, but anyways. And then I've got the Waiting Room palette, and people are selling these for outrageous amounts. It's ridiculous. I still wish you know, they had the Morte palette and then they re-released it. I'm still kicking myself. I should have bought the re-release, because when you're thinking about it years later, but this one is perfection. I love it. And then, oops, don't stick your finger in it. And then lastly, this one I quite liked as well too. I think this is one of probably their least successful palettes, I want to say. That one in the Millennial Pinks, I think a lot of people had problems with. But this one here is from the Mariposas collection. I really like it. Yes, they're smaller, round, you know, they're way smaller eyeshadow palettes. But again, how often do we go through? And so far as you can tell, the Juvia's Place was one of the only ones where I really whacked some holes in there in that one palette. But I just love this top row. Actually really love the bottom row, and this orange shimmer is to die for. I don't think I have any clean fingers. No. I mean, if I ever did get rid of that and I hadn't used that up yet, I would have to take that out, that out, that out, that out, and that out. But I like the whole palette actually. So there we go. So there's my Melt collection. Nothing went there. Because Mama didn't raise no, well, maybe she did raise a dummy. I bought way too much eyeshadow. Okay. All right, so here is another pile of more one-offs. So this one is one of my most recent. I got this in my ice cream mystery box. I think that I'm gonna keep it going. I know I'm technically in a no buy, but it really helps getting something new, and I'm just digging the ice cream boxes. They're just really well done. And I'm really weirdly excited about the new one because it has a moisturizer in it. How bizarre is that? And I'm going to be needing some, so maybe that's why. Anyways, this is from Delancey. This is a 4-shade, like duochrome type palette. Keeping it. With that same thing came this ethereal palette. This was by Okalan. This is a very affordable brand. I mean, it is a dupe, as you can tell, for Huda Beauty, and I'm getting rid of the one Huda Beauty palette I have, and I'm keeping this one. How weird is that? yeah, here we are. This is super, super neutral. And then it's got that weird shade, but once you mix the jelly shade together, it became a kind of nice reddy shade, but you definitely have to put a little something on top of it. It does split a little bit, but I kind of like it, and it just got it, so I'm gonna keep it. So there we go. In another ice cream box, we got this one I adore. This is from Beauty Moon Cosmetics. I definitely want to try more from them. This is fabulous. Look at, I know I've got melting mascara under my eye, but it's Monday, it's a holiday. I'm going through 12,000 palettes. I was not in the mood for makeup today. But this color story is amazing. The shimmers are awesome. If I had some clean phalanges, I would do this, but I love it. I just got. Okay, here's another gift. I got the whole collection. I'm still odd. My friend Jeff is amazing. So this is the eyeshadow palette, the Emerald City palette. There we go. And this is from Rising Star. Rising Star Emulate. My apologies. This palette is adorable. The whole collection is amazing. I love the whole collection. I love everything in it. Wouldn't give anything up. But it was really those highlighters that I was 100% after, because the green highlighter, I need them all. And I'm still mad that I did do a Cosmic Brushes order. I'm an idiot. And yeah, July was nuts. I still kick myself that I forgot to put the highlighter in. I bugged them to put another palette into my order, and then I forgot to mention the highlighter. But anyways, this palette is so cute. Yes, it definitely needs another palette to go with it, but I love it. This whole collection is amazing. This brand, I hope to see more. It's really good. The concept is amazing. Love it. Keeping it. Oh, here's a couple I'm going to give up. All right. So I did when She Glam started to do makeup, but I had bought these originally. They're cute, but this is the Hint of Mint palette. I've just used this one once. I'm going to just see if I can find a home for it. The color story is beautiful, but it's more for, as my friend likes to call it, day walkers, people that just like normal, non-fussy makeup. But if you want a little bit of color, it's going to give you a little bit of color. And then there was also the Glacial Goddess palette. And I liked this one well because I like blues and greens together. And same thing, it's not as color. It's nice. You can see, I think I left the videos up from, it's one of my earlier videos. It's okay, but it's not worth it to take up space in my collection. So this is going to go in the out pile. Okay, so then I only have one from Manny MUA. This is the Strawberry Dream palette. This is when you still could get it from Sephora. He's no longer, unfortunately, in Sephora. Does it still smell like strawberries? Yes, it does. It still smells like those fake strawberry candies, you know, those kind of foamy, squishy strawberry candies. That's what it smells like. If you got them where you are. I do love this color story. This shimmery shade is beautiful. This raspberry-ish red is nice. I love the smell of it. I don't have anything else from them. It's a cute little palette. I'm going to keep it because it's a one-off, at least for this go around. Now, here's two more that I only have one of, and they're, yeah. They will leave my collection over my rotting corpse. So this one was lovely, sent to me from Darcy from St. Angel's Sinners. My first piece of eyeshadow PR I am grateful for, and I adore it. So this is a Fairy Tale St. Angel's Sinners Cosmetics X Fairy Lights, which is Sophia Sadie, and it is this cute, adorable palette. I've been really into super shimmery pinks, and of course I'm always into greens. I notice it has a couple lighter, like, you know, neutral shades. The black is fantastic, but somehow this combination is the right color combination. She knows how to pick colors, or her and Sophia. It is so good. Doesn't look like it, but I've already used it 3 or 4 times, and I'm kind of trying to stop myself from using it because I do have other palettes. It is so good. I love it. And then this one I got for my birthday, and again, I am so grateful. I was lent their Primal palette from Martha. I think that's what it was called, which is a mostly neutrally palette. But I love the quality so much, and then I was so mad that I missed out on this, and then I got this for my birthday. So this is the Artitude Cosmetics, and this is the Man Eater Untamed palette. Oops, I had it upside down. So it is this beautiful bad boy. I do have to show it off because I love it. Oh my god. That, again, this black, indie brands kick ass when it comes to the black. This pink, this green, that bluish green is amazing. The mattes are lovely. This, quality is amazing. I would say Artitude Lois Cosmetics has some of the best eyeshadow quality around, and I am so glad that I have this, and I again will give it up over my rotting corpse. Alrighty, some more stacks to go. I'm just surrounded in eyeshadow. Surrounded! Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. So I just grabbed 3 little stacks here. Let's start with this. So this is the now defunct C Color Cosmetics. They were the ones that made me break my no buy because they went under or decided to close or whatever the story was. I'm assuming the panini did not help. I've never seen them in any, at least in Canada, and you know, in Walmarts or any cheaper stores. So this was the first palette I ever got. This one I got from my friend Wilma. This is the Peaches and Cream C Color. Now everything I got from C Color here, I love. This is unfortunately the only one I don't. It's definitely not a palette that you can use on your own, and the colors are definitely a little bit light, but I got it as a gift, so I will keep it for this go around. And like I said, this will be something that you could use as blending shades if you're using another palette. So if you're using something that had lots of oranges and yellows, these lighter shades would be good to mix with some of these lighter pinks. So I think that might be good for, but for definitely on its own, I tried filming like 3 or 4 times and I had to delete the video every time. I could not figure out a way to get to this one to do what I wanted it to do. But I think it's because it's a palette you can't use on its own. And generally I can use any palette on its own. It's got 4 colors in it, I can make it a go. But here we are, 2 colors, I can make it a go. But that one, I could not make it a go. Now these, let's see here, what I got, those were, okay. So then in the sale, I had bought, well, I had technically bought 3, but one's gonna be part of a giveaway. But this, I had these 2 to start. So we've got Empowered Excellent, words are hard. Motto of the channel, and Fiesta All Day. I really enjoyed these. Look at this color story, and I like their glitters. Who knew? Starting to like the glitter. There's a few people that do glitter that makes me want to go, So anyways, that's this beautiful color story. Yes, it's rainbowy, but I liked it, and it was, well, now super cheap because I got it on super sale, like 90% off. Then this is the Empowered Excellence. This one is beautiful as well. This one has less glitters in it. It only has the 2, but it is very beautiful. So we're definitely going to keep this. These 2 I recently got as a gift. My friend also went into the sale, but then decided that they were not quite what they were thinking they were going to be. And then this one is part of this set here. So they thought, to be a completionist, they would give me this one. So let's look at this. This is the Bold and the Beautiful. And this one is super nice. And again, the glitters in here are really good. Who knew? I really enjoyed this palette. So we're going to keep this as well. And then we've got the Death Valley. Oh, this was a collab. So this was a collab with Sarah Jo. Who knew? 14 color eyeshadow. I love it because it's very Art Deco, and I love Art Deco. I'm actually going to a speakeasy we opened in where I used to live. So I would have still lived there. I could have stumbled home from drinking tons of bourbon drinks, but I probably now only love 1 or 2 bourbon drinks. But anyways, we are going to a speakeasy. Maybe I should use this for speakeasy night. But anyways, there's this one. Yeah, it is pretty neutral, but it has a white, it has a black, it has my favorite kind of neutrally blending shades. Anything that yellow, it's got a yellow. I really like this, even though it's pretty neutral, but I just got it, so I'm gonna keep it, and it was a gift, and you can't get C color anymore, so let's keep it, right? All right, another brand that I really love, and I love for their foundation. They make my favorite pressed powder is Zeesea Cosmetics, and I do have some of the palettes. Oh, and they make really good lipstick. I have a couple lipsticks. So originally back in the day, I did an order when this series came out, and this is the ex-British Museum. So I went and I did an order, and I did an order for a lipstick and the powder. Yes, lipstick and the powder, and then my order was canceled. I was like, what the heck? And then they sent me a thing going, send a review, and I'm like, oh, well, I didn't get anything because my order was canceled. And then something like 3-4 months later, it just showed up at my house. the collection. So I guess they had canceled it to send it to me as freebie, as maybe it was like PR, but I of course didn't know that at the time. I wasn't filming anything at the time. I was just getting into my makeup journey. And anyways, so I've been a fan ever since I got those 2 items. The lipstick is gorgeous. The powder again is my favorite. I have bought 3 more since then. I've got one wrapped up to use because I can't buy any on my no-buy. I'm trying to use up everything I have first. But anyways, I still have the plastic on it. Okay, it wouldn't be a Sunday without ambulances like crazy. Anyways, this was the first palette that I ordered. And here we go. I still left the plastic on there, which is good. So now I won't have to blind you with a mirror. And so this is a Chinese makeup brand. Chinese, Korean makeup is usually generally a lighter makeup. This was the most colorful at the time, I believe, of the British Museum palettes. So that's why I picked this one. And plus I loved the Ankh on there. So I got this one. It's lovely. It's very light, everyday day walker makeup. But I do love these shimmery shades. This one, it looks like modeled, like it's got yellow, green in there. I wish I had some clean fingers, but this is really, really nice. These shimmery shades are really nice, but again, they're very daytime friendly light shimmers. So there we go. So that was the one with the Ankh, so I got that one. And then I think when I was ordering some powder, I then got this one. And again, this is the Fireworks palette. So this is number 9 in their palettes. And of course, I just liked this, the Mexican design, Day of the Dead design on there. And this color story is fabulous. But again, it's Daywalker material. It's also, yes, I also didn't peel the paper off. Yeah, and it comes with the insert too, like the other one had the Ankh on it. It repeats in there. It's really beautiful. But I do like this color story. It is really, really nice. I definitely should use it. One of these I did get via AliExpress, I think, but they had a store on there. Some people said they did. Sometimes some people said they didn't, but then I'd read somewhere that they said that they had done. So anyways, but all the packaging and everything looked the same, so it didn't look like it was a dupe and somebody trying to dupe it, because everything was the same as my other palettes and the quality was just as good. No burning sensation. It was fantastic. So there was that. And then thirdly, I had to get this one, and as soon as you see the cover, you'll know why. It's Cat Mama material. So there is this one here, and that was the third one I got, or maybe it was this one. No, this one I bought directly through their website. Now this one I did take the plastic off. So this color story is definitely way more neutral. I bought it more for this, and then of course these shades here. Oh, and that one. Who doesn't like a shimmery orange? There we go. And then it has this, but again, it's more, I think, for blending out because the shimmeries do go away on that black shade. But again, I'm not going to give these up. I like the packaging. Okay, and this one had the cute little kittens on it. I love the packaging. I love even the feel of the compacts. I should definitely use them more, but they're just so beautiful. They're even just nice to display. So I'm going to keep these. Alrighty, so there was another, I said there was one more Canadian brand I was going to do, and it was because I have a whack of their palettes. So I love Suva Beauty. I'm a big fan of their water activated liner. I have all those palettes and I have some singles, but I did go to their Fill Your Box sale last year and I packed in as much as I could. And I think I did all these palettes in that sale. I squished all of these in the big box. So there we go. Even an extra one I sent my friend Wilma this one because it's rainbow and it says we make rainbow jealous. So let's start with this one. So it is definitely your rainbow palette. It is a very beautiful. This shimmery topper is freaking goals. So I'm definitely going to keep this one. So let's go, speaking of toppers. So this is the Suva Beauty toppers. And if you liked that topper that's in there, you would definitely like these. So as you can tell here, this is like a pinky red one, a yellow, a blue, and Manuela's favorite, the green. So we definitely like those. So if you just want a little shimmer over something on your eye, inner corner, you can even use it as highlighter. These toppers are beautiful. So I would definitely not give these up. So there might be one or two that I may think of getting rid of, but this one I will not. So this is the Rose Period. This really reminds me of the Lois Cosmetics one, and a teeny bit, it doesn't have as many purples in there, but a teeny bit of the Ace Beauté, that Sage palette. But I really like this. The quality is nice. This is a very pretty neutrally palette, and I'm going to keep it. So I've got two other here, and then there was one other palette that I didn't put in, and it's only one of their palettes that I believe that they released that I never got, and I'm kicking myself for at least not finding it and putting it in the box, but I did get these two as well. So this one is called Block Party. This is another, everyday kind of generic palette. It's cute. I liked these two colors a lot, but I think I'm going to, because I have most of these colors elsewhere, I think I'm going to put this in a pile to see if my friend or her daughter would like this. So I think I'm going to put this one in a giveaway. And then lastly, I have the Saffron palette. I think I saw this one at the last minute and crammed it in on top because you had to be able to close the box. So I put some highlighter in my inner corner. So if you just see that, I just put a little glimmer with that. I'm not putting any makeup on, but I'll put a little glimmer on. So anyways, this is the Saffron palette, and this is from Suva Beauty as well. And this went on really nice. This was a really pretty palette. I really liked these shades together, but it is pretty neutral again. So I think this one as well, I'm going to try and find a home for. So out of the 5 palettes, we are going to keep 3 of them. So there we go. So I do have a small giveaway, so hopefully that's going to make a little bit of room in my drawers, because this is seriously bordering on dumb. Okay, all right, here are 2 more stacks to go. Now, yes, I'm complaining and keep saying I'm dumb for buying all these. Sure, I'm dumb for buying all these. Do I regret buying all these? Not a single second. So that's probably part of the problem. All right, so let's do BH Cosmetics. So 3 of these recently came into my collection from, again, friend doing a declutter. And they had only swatched, maybe one of them used, and I love them. But we will use those, talk about those last. We'll go by the ones that I owned first. So the first one I ever bought from BH Cosmetics was the one that everybody wanted, which was the Ice Cream Shop Pistachio palette. Now, I would have loved all of them, but the neutral one, but I've always been always try to be a little bit good and not try to buy everything just because at the time I could. But this one is perfection. This is one of the most beautiful green palettes. The quality is really good, so I am keeping this one. It is going nowhere. Then they were doing these, and these was when I was watching Angelica Nyquist. She was buying them every month if she liked them or not, and then these were the different birthday palettes. So I have September and I have August. I think I kind of liked May, but not enough to get it. But these were the 2 that I liked the most. So of course I got August first. So this is the Peridot palette, and this is this one here. So they did the main color focus of the palette. They would do the biggest shadow, and then they would do 6 other ones in every one of the palettes. This one, it says here, you steal the Limelight Peridot. So there we go. I do love that shade. I love that shade, that shade, that shade. A couple neutrals, but I really did like this. The quality is great, so I'm going to keep that. I don't think I'm giving away any of these. And then this is the Sapphire palette. So this is from September. And I think they had a few where the biggest shade didn't really quite match the name, and I think that might have been a problem. And this is You Slay Sapphires, and then of course the sapphires in the bigger. So you've got a shiny, and then you've got it kind of matching in the matte, and then you've got these here. I really liked this, so I'm going to keep it. And then the 3 palettes that I recently did, and I did a video, I think I did a 3-look video using one of each. This one is the Mimosa palette, and these were, I think, along with the pistachio one, I think 3 of the most popular ones that they ever did. So this is the Mimosa palette. This is really pretty. When I first opened it, I was like, oh, I don't know, it's okay, it's generic-y, pinky, whatever. And then I used it, and it was like, I think out of 3, it was almost my favorite look. So, surprise. So sometimes it's quality or whatever, or just playing things. Sometimes a color story, when you look at it, if you're like, it's kind of okay, and you put it on your eye, sometimes you're surprised. And I was quite surprised with this. I really liked it. Then there is the Blueberry Muffin. This one I really liked as well, and I think I did a really great look with this one. I quite enjoyed this one as well. I think, trying to think which one was my least favorite out of the three, and I think it might be the blueberry muffin, but I loved it. So I'm just saying that if I had, if I was only picking, one or two out of three. And then this is the avocado toast. I wish there were a few more greens in here, I think you could have got rid of this pinky one. You could have got rid of this one. You could have got rid of that one and put some more greens in, and that one. But I do like the whole bottom row. I like those three. I kind of like yellow because yellow blends out nice with green. And that, there's that one stage in the avocado where it kind of gets around the edges, that color. Anyways, I really enjoyed this palette too. So we are going to keep them. Okay, next up we have another favorite brand. And of course, I'm not gonna get rid of any of these. And this is, oops, I got one more here, hold on. This is Odin's Eye. I really regret that I haven't been able to get some of the last few palettes, but again, I'm trying hard on the no buy. Was pretty successful up till about July, and now I'm back on the no train. So anyways, this was a whole collection. These were the 3 mini from the collection. This is the Norn collection. Yeah, there was one after that. So there was the Erd palette, the Verdande palette, and the Schooled palette. We are keeping all 3 of those. My favorite, I believe, was the Erd palette. Yes, because no surprise there, it's the one with most of the greens. So we are keeping all those. I did a video on my whole collection, so you can see it more in detail that way. One of the first collections I started collecting was the Elva collection, starting with Elva 1 or Elva 2, I believe. So they were these 3 palettes here, and this one was the first one I bought. Yes, and it's probably still one of my favorite palettes. So there we go. I have those. I really liked these little palettes a lot. I know now they make the bigger ones, but I thought these were perfect. You kind of like 6 shades in a 5-pan palette, how they have that little split one. So that goes with that side, goes with that side. I kind of liked that, but there we go. And then I think, let's go. What else was part of that collection? Okay, this was part of the collection. So this was the bigger palette that came with the collection. This is the one where I bought everything in the collection. I think I've rarely bought full collections, but this was one of the few where I bought, and I do have a video on it. As you can tell, I really like that silver. Then I had, here's some other older collections. So this was from the Soul Main collection. There was this eyeshadow palette here. It was a more neutral. This one was gifted to me from Teresa Mulhern. She got it in a mystery box and didn't like it because it was too neutral. I'm a completionist, and she kindly sent that to me. Then I have the Soul from the Soul Main 2. This was the last collection that I had got. And this is the beautiful palette, and this is their new packaging, or their new shape of their shadows. This top row is beautiful. And then there were 3 in this collection. I kind of wish I ended up now getting the 3rd one, but I didn't. But we've got the Hummingbird. So this was the Tina the Fancy Face, and this one was Annette's Makeup Corner, and then this was the Giant Wolves palette. So there we go. That is all my Odin's Eye, and we're not getting rid of any of those. We are officially almost there. Okay, so here are some smaller collections. Let's start with the top, and this is Kimchi. This is the Virgin Mojito palette. This is another one that I'm going to keep forever because it's absolutely perfect. The yellows in here are lovely. If I had to pick between this one and my Midas one, of course it's the Midas one, but this one also has greens in it. It's really good. It was the first one that I bought from the collection, and I'm going to keep it. Now this next one, they made a mini version of this, but this is the first palette they ever released, and this is the Rainbow Shards palette. I got this as a birthday gift from one of my best friends years ago. It is very old. It's probably technically expired. It is a super neutral, but at the time I was just getting into my makeup journey. So I went from basically bronze or lavender eyes, so this one was definitely some brighter colors. These 4 shades in here make the palette. Actually, that gold one is pretty nice, but I'm of course going to keep it because it's a gift and it is a good palette, and I've used most of the shades in here. This is kind of one of my favorite blending shades, so you can see there's a bit of a divot in here, and there's a few shades that I've not really touched, but I do like this palette, so I of course will keep it because it was a gift. All right, so this is another collection that everybody was really crazy about them back in the day, and this is Storybook Cosmetics. Okay, so this was I've always wanted them. This is the Fairy Tales, Little Briar Rose. This one, I was at a fundraiser just before the Panini hit, and they had this, and boy, did I watch that. I was not letting anybody outbid me on this, and I was telling people, don't bid on it. So anyways, this is Storybook Cosmetics, and this is the Fairy Tales Briar Rose palette. The quality, it's okay. When I first got it, I thought it was good, but now that I've gone through my indie life here, it's pretty generic quality. The color story, again, this is now pretty neutral. At the time, I was a little bit farther into the makeup journey, but was just still trying to branch into colors. So the blues were probably exciting to me at the time. I'm going to keep this for display, but I think I'm going to take it, I might even put it on a bookshelf. I think I'm just going to take it out of my makeup rotation, because I do like the packaging. It was a great day at that event, so I'm going to keep it for that, but I'm going to take it out of rotation. And then I was at an Ulta. We don't have Ultas here, but I was in the US. They had an Ulta, they were having a sale, and they had this one on deep discount. I think they were stopping carrying them, I want to say. And they had a different one, another one of them. I can't remember. They had another really famous one too, but anyways, this was the big one, I think, and then they had another one, but I thought, okay, I can't buy both of them, so this is the Mean Girls one here, and this is, other people have done Mean Girl collections and done the Burn book, but I think this is the one that is more known. This color story is more like it. It is definitely better than this one. But I like the cover and everything better on this one, but this one definitely has a better color story. And again, the quality is okay. The shimmers, I like this one and this one, of course, you know me. But again, they're just very day walker every day. The quality is okay. And then it's the same thing. I'm going to take this out of rotation and storage, but I'm going to put it like on a bookshelf or something and just keep it because it's nice and I like it. Alrighty, so here is another brand that I've been really getting into. And again, getting stuff from Ireland to here is expensive. So one I bought, because finally it was cheap enough that with the shipping I was okay. And then the other 2 I got as gifts. So let's just do the first thing I ever bought, and this is the Carnival Interstellar. So now most of the Carnivals are always seem to be variations of rainbow palettes. But this one was a little bit different. So this one, I felt the need to kind of pick it up. And then when I think I got it for 30% off. So I think the discount made it that I only paid $1 to shipping. Because for me, discounts are like, will that get rid of the shipping or make shipping really low? So I'm not so much like, I'm happy to pay brands what their makeup is worth. But shipping is such a bear to me. So like I said, if a discount covers a good chunk, or if not covers all of the shipping, then that's good. And I was going to be bad and add more things to the order, but I didn't. It was a big sale that we're having. It was a very, like, a 4-hour window or 5 hour. It was a very small window to get this. And I think pretty much after I hit add to cart, they accepted my order. It was like literally within minutes sold out at that point. So this was the Interstellar one. And yeah, long story short, here it is. So, comparing this to the W7 one, yes, this one's now going to have less brighter colors because it has this. And this was the reason why I bought it, was these 3 rows. Because I do have rainbow palettes. I have the beautiful Colored Rain one. I have the beautiful one from Beauty Bay. But I don't have, and I have a couple small palettes that have gray and black. But this was, I thought, kind of like the best of both worlds. It was almost like a best of the carnivals, because instead of just being Carnival 5, another version of rainbow, it was your version of rainbow, but has these beautiful grays and silvers. So I was really excited to try this. There's still a few colors in here I have not dipped into, but I need to. I adore this palette. I was so excited to get it, and then this started the obsession with BePerfect eyeshadows. I adore this, so hence me now. I think I can happily find a home for the W7 palette. So there we go. So again, a friend doing a collection clean, did I get these in two separate collections? I might have got them, but anyways. So then I think I got this one next. So this is the Compass of Creativity. So this is a set of 4 that, here I'll show you, that magnify together. So you have kind of a neutrally one, you have a greener one, you have a pink one, and you have a purpley blue one. I did a video, I think I did all 4 palettes. I love this so much. The quality is really good. The magnet doesn't really stay together once you take it out of here, so you can't so I just don't want to, but you can see the color story there. I love this. I was so happy that I got this as a gift. And then the last one that I have for BePerfect, my friend had 2 of them. So they bought themselves one and they were gifted one, so they gifted me their duplicate. So this is the Dream Big Manifest palette from BePerfect. And I don't think this one's available anymore. The other 2 are, but this one, when I did the video on it, I couldn't find the video anywhere. This is not a collab. So all the carnivals are with Stacey Marie, who is so nice. So if you post a look or comment something, she always comments back. She is so lovely. Really, really lovely. That is so nice. And you know, a lot of influencers and stuff don't do that. So I think it's absolutely lovely. So go Stacey Marie. I can see why everybody loves her and wants to buy all their palettes. Well, anyways, this is the Dream Big Manifest palette. This isn't, I don't think, a collab with anybody at all, but you know, manifest your dreams in an eyeshadow palette. Now, it's kind of jumbled. So if these were easy magnetic things to move around, because there is, yeah, they do have names, I would have totally moved this. I would have fixed it, fixed it from my jumbled brain. But I really do like this palette. It is the beautiful BePerfect quality. I don't know why this one, maybe that's why. Maybe people thought it was so jumbled. I think that's one thing that I remember people talking about, that they didn't like how it was laid out. So yeah, so sometimes it takes a little bit of hunting and pecking to find what you want, or some pre-planning. But I really did like this palette, and I was so happy that it was gifted to me. So yeah, very happy. So I am definitely on the BePerfect train. So I just have one more brand to go over, and I don't think I'm giving away anything on that brand either. And last but not least is my newest obsession, which is P.Louise. P.Louise. And I've only ever bought one of these. Okay, so let's start with the first one I got, and the one that I bought, and probably the biggest one in the thing. So they do budget boxes, and sometimes in their budget boxes, or most of the time, they have a palette in there, depending on the type of budget box, and sometimes they have the newest release in there. And I went to get one because it was supposed to be one of the budget boxes that I think had one of the other ones that are in here, and it was sold out. But then I saw one other palette that I've been wanting for quite a while, the Worldly palette with all the sand in it, was on sale, and the price of this, and it came with a brush, and I think I want to say 3 or 4 different eye paints. It was less than what originally cost for just this palette. So, but I mean, the time is shipping, and I did get paid. I had to charge a little duty. I think it still was a little bit cheaper. So I think that was the only time that I could really afford to do a deal with them. And this is one of the bigger palettes, but it is a single drawer palette. Let's take off the Worldly thing. It is this beautiful color story here. I really do like it. Same thing in here. There's not that many shimmers, but the few shimmers that are in here are literally everyday shimmers. They are not super duper duper special as in blingy, but they're lovely. So this started me going, I quite like P.Louise. So after that, oh, hold on, don't want to start an avalanche. See, what was the next one I got? So the next one I got, yes, was this one. So for Christmas, I got sent the small advent calendar because my friend had got one as a gift and they had bought one. So for my Christmas present, they sent me their extra one. It was fantastic. I loved unboxing it. And it had this cute little palette in there that lights up. Oh, the lights might no longer work anymore. Okay, battery dead. but it did light up at one time. It doesn't matter that it keeps lighting up. Anyways, it's a very neutral palette, but I ended up really enjoying the quality and these shades. So for a neutral palette, this is pretty awesome. So that was, it didn't have the little box didn't have a big palette in there, the bigger one did, but I really enjoyed this, so that was cool. So that was the second one I'd ever got. Now the third one I've ever got, I won this from Teresa Mulhern. She somehow got another one. Maybe it was in a mystery box. So anyways, I had been eyeing this, wanting this, and crying that I couldn't buy this and I ended up winning it from her. So that was awesome. And I never win makeup. I enter frickin' everything I can get my hands on, and this was the first time I ever won anything. And this is a true 2-drawer beauty, and it is all these greens. It could be pretty much every green you can think of, and then on the bottom, it's more your grungy, mustardy, darker greens. This is the perfect palette. Out of all the palettes, this one, probably one of the ones that I would miss the most. Like if I only had one palette, I could probably get the majority of my looks out of this palette because I'm obsessed with green, right? And it has some kind of yellowy shades in there. So this is, to me, probably the perfect palette. My money doesn't really move around. It doesn't really jiggle jiggle. It folds, yeah. Okay, so there's that. Then I had got 2 more palettes from a friend, Wilma, and one of them was the compass. So this is the You're Trippin' Compassy one here. So cute. And it is also a green palette with a little bit of yellow and grunge in there, and no repeats. So look at that. Got all these and this and still no repeats. This is pretty awesome. And apparently there's also another one. I can't remember what they're called. There's a name for them. They're kind of like cassette ones, video cassette ones. And apparently that green one also has greens that are not in here and not in the other one. So that's pretty rad. And then, so I got those, and then I got this one gifted to me, and it's Beauty and the Makeup. Breakup? Breakup. Yes, Beauty and the Breakup. Now, this one was not my friend's color story, and at first when I opened it too, again, it's another one where it's like, oh, it's kind of pink, and then I played with it, and it was so good. So freaking good. So again, quality and just playing with things, because again, pink is my struggle. Pink is one of my struggles. I think that's why sometimes when I open a palette, I'm like, oh, pinks. I'm not that good at working at it, but I got some good looks with this, so I'm really excited. So anyways, that is my collection. I'm gonna have to count everything as I put it away, so I will put a count somewhere on top of how many I kept, and then how many I have in the giveaway get rid of pile. Now we've got that small pile of ones that I was thinking about, so I think we should go through those together. So let's first look at the Norvina one. So again, I love greens and yellows, but this one is pretty long in the tooth. And now I have all the green palettes and the yellow palettes, so I think I'm definitely gonna let that one go. I think that one, oh, I love that packaging, but that's gotta go. So we're good with that. I am going to keep this Pat McGrath one because I decided to get rid of the other pink one and those 2 shimmery ones. I'm going to try and give this another go. Maybe I should, yeah, maybe I can do it tomorrow. Do a makeup look with this and then decide. But at the moment, I think this one I'm going to keep. Alrighty, so then we've got the Cara Beauty Capricorn palette. I definitely want to try more from them. They look like they've got some really nice palettes, some of their bigger ones, but this one, I think other than the 3 shimmers, I don't think there's much I would do with this. I was glad to try it, but I think I'll see if one of my friends wants this one, so I will give this one up as well. I'll leave those 2 till last. So this is the Moira Cosmetics, the Wonderlust. Like I said, I loved their eyeshadow, their bronzer, and I really love the blush that I have. And this is a really pretty palette, but I think I have most of those shades, and this is pretty recent and it's been barely touched. So again, I'm gonna see if one of my friends would like this palette. So there we go. So I'm going to pop that away, and then the last, oh, there's 3 that I want to go. I'm going to leave these 2 till last, and then I've got the Colored Rain Smoke Show. Again, I love Colored Rain a lot. And I do like these two colors. Pretty much when I use this, that's pretty much all that I would use. So I think I'm going to give that one up as well. And then last but not least, we had the two Midas ones. I'm hesitant to give away anything Midas, but these two are so similar that maybe I should just keep one and get rid of the, or find a home, find a home for the other one if somebody wanted them. So there we go. Like this, like I said, this one, the yellow is brighter, but here the blue is brighter. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one and then I'm going to get rid of this one, even though I like the brighter yellow better. If I could take those out, I could, but I don't think you can. So I think I'm going to keep this one. Yes, I'm going to keep this one and then I will get rid of this one. And that way, still making some space, but I'm still keeping one. Because they were so similar, I never should have bought both of them. And that's it. So like I said, I'm gonna have a count on the end. That is my whole collection. If there's anything that you want to see me do a makeup look with, please let me know. And just a disclaimer, unless you're a friend of mine that's watching this and wants any of the palettes that I'm giving away, don't ask. I'm not gonna ship these to anybody unless, like I said, it's one of my friends. But if you do follow my videos, there is going to be a giveaway coming soon, so keep your eye out on that. So anyways, that's it for me. If you like this video, look at my please give it a like, a comment, and subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can snoop through each other's collections together. As always, behave, make good choices, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.